I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is Words of Encouragement. And that is because you could either be making words of encouragement or receiving them from others this week, because there are some very benign influences going on among the planets. And that is because there are three very strong planets that are in almost perfect alignment. And that is because Venus is now in Scorpio at 7 degrees, and it's not being squared or opposed by anything there. Scorpio is a fixed financial sign, but there aren't any other planets in fixed signs. So Venus can be sort of doing an outstanding job there at 7 degrees of Scorpio, and it is sextile Jupiter in Sagittarius at 8 degrees. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and so there can be very high-minded thoughts going on. We're getting really close to the holidays, and people can be traveling as well, and so people can sort of be wanting the best for everyone. And then that Jupiter at 8 degrees of Sagittarius is sextiling Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, at 9 degrees. So we have Venus at 7 degrees of Scorpio, Jupiter at 8 degrees of Sagittarius, Saturn at 9 degrees of Capricorn. And it simply means that there can be very important and nice things going on in people's thoughts, and they can be expressing them, because those aren't the only planets in those three signs. In fact, there are 6 planets in those 3 signs, and that's 60% of all the planets in the heavens. So if you are looking, for instance, for some sort of recognition or words of encouragement, you probably are going to find them this week, which is wonderful. And that can help offset the fact that there are some pretty harsh squares going on also among 6 planets that are in the mutable signs, between the 3 planets that are in Pisces and the 3 that are in Sagittarius. So we've got to sort of think positive this week, but we're going to get a lot of help with that as well. So for instance, what could the benefits be, or the words of encouragement? Where could they be coming from? Well, with Venus in Scorpio, and it's being trined by 3 planets in Pisces right now, so it's well backed up and it's not being challenged, remember, there could be some sort of financial break, a lucky break for you, or there could be some sort of bonus coming your way. Wouldn't that be nice? Or it could be coming through a loved one. And then there could also be some group recognition or community recognition for a job well done. And there could be some sort of advancement up some sort of ladder, or some kind of public recognition for you, since not only is Jupiter in Sagittarius, but so is the Sun, and also Mercury, the planet of the mind and of communication. And then if you're looking for a promotion, for instance, or the possibility of a nice offer coming from a rather prestigious or highly respected organization, that could be headed your way, or there could be words of encouragement about that, since Saturn and Pluto are in Capricorn. So these 6 planets in these 3 signs are all beneficially sextiling each other, and a sextile represents opportunities. And so that simply means there could be a lot of opportunities, not only to give words of encouragement to others, but maybe you could be getting some back in return. Wouldn't that be nice? And yet we can't overlook the fact that there are still 6 planets in the mutable signs that are harshly aspecting each other. So for instance, today, the moon has moved into Pisces, and it is joining Mars and Neptune, which are still conjuncting in Pisces as well. And Neptune is the ruler there. But they are squaring harshly Mercury, the Sun, and Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is too bad. And so it can mean that there are still people around. In fact, there could be a loose cannon or some very well-financed covert organization behind the scenes doing things that are not exactly on the up and up, and they could be trying to undermine the very laws of the land or the way that ordinary citizens go about their business. And so that can be pretty harmful to a lot of people and very threatening and also very dangerous at this time. So you really may not know who to trust, and you best not believe everything you hear right now. And also, there can be indecision or confusion around, and that's because that moon in Pisces is square the sun in Sagittarius. And when the sun and moon square or oppose each other, there's always indecision or confusion. But that could be prompted now by the misguided intentions, perhaps of a woman, because the moon rules women. And it's in that sign that rules things going on behind the scenes, Pisces. So there could be somebody that thinks their intentions are great, but actually they're very misguided. And what that all boils down to is that something just doesn't make sense right now, or it doesn't really add up. And that's why we have to sort of be on the alert. And that means that we may still have to bitterly tolerate some sort of person or organization that has a lot of arrogant contempt for ordinary citizens and for humanity. But with the benign influence of words of encouragement that we just give each other right now, it can be that love and loyalty and respect for the good that is in all people will still prevail because it is so strong. And I think particularly at this holiday time, that's the way to go. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you can be fondly thinking of someone or something at a distance. And that is because that Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury in Sagittarius, which rules long distance travel, for instance, is trining Uranus in your sign, which is just wonderful. So you may have a sudden opportunity to make a new beginning, either involving someone who is at a distance, or you might be planning to go and see them, which would be great. Or since there can be a pressure in your career right now because Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring that Uranus in your sign, it might be that you're deciding perhaps to increase your skill level in one way, or maybe go back to school. And that too would work out very well. So you may get words of encouragement about that, Aries, and maybe that could help point you in a new direction after the first of the year, and you probably would like that. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I think that you can have the money, hopefully, to pay higher costs right now, because that Venus, your own ruler in Scorpio, is opposing your sun sign, and there isn't anything challenging it. There's nothing in your sign, Taurus, or in Aquarius or Leo. So that Venus in Scorpio is sort of going to have its way right now. And that simply means, since it's opposing your sun sign, that somebody else can be incurring rather high costs that you have to pay. It might be a child. It might be a loved one. It might be something that you've always wanted and you're sort of thinking of buying it at Christmas time, and it could be pretty pricey. So I think you are going to have to be paying out right now, but there could be a pretty good reason for that as well. So you could get words of encouragement about that, and probably talk yourself into spending a little bit more money right now, Taurus, but I think you've got it as well. You still need to keep your mind on long-term interests, though, because Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun, and there are going to be many more planets coming into Capricorn trining your sun. And in fact, there's 3 eclipses just in Capricorn next year that will all be trining your sun. So you've got to get ready to work really hard, but you probably have a pretty good reason to be making more money and spending it right now. So I hope you have a happy holiday. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, there aren't any planets in the air signs right now, so neither your sign nor Libra nor Aquarius has any backup right now. And so what that really means, since there haven't been any planets in air signs for a while, what it means is that nobody's coming up with any real creative ideas right now. Well, they may have their mind on other things, such as celebrations for Christmas or holidays or traveling or something like that. So I think that that's okay. But it also means that you may not be able to get your ideas across right now. And so I hope that you have decided to take a little bit of a break right now, Gemini, because there still can be words of encouragement coming to you. I think you need them right now. You could be wishing that someone would give you words of encouragement, and you may not be hearing them at the moment, but there could be other people around that can sort of bolster your faith in the good things in life, in love and loyalty and respect for others' goodness right now as well, since it is the holiday time. So I hope you sort of relax and enjoy all of that, Gemini, because after all, we can't get away from the fact that the 3 planets that are in Pisces, the Moon, Neptune, and Mars, are squaring your Sun, and Mercury, your own ruler, the Sun, and Jupiter in Sagittarius are opposing your Sun sign. It's sort of as if you can't really get your message across right now, Gemini. So what I hope you're wishing for is words of encouragement, because those would be very nice to hear. So I hope you get some. And then the tide will turn. You'll be able to get your ideas across later. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when I think that you might be affected in one way or another by the misguided intentions of a woman. And that is because the Moon is in Pisces along with Mars and Neptune, and they are all trining your Sun sign, and Venus in Scorpio is also trining your Sun sign. There could be more money coming your way, but you may also have to deal with ideas that somebody else has that don't make sense, or they don't add up right now. And so you ought to be a little bit careful who you listen to right now, Cancer. And instead, I'm sure that you can be receiving words of encouragement right now about your home and the holidays, which is something that you really love. But you may be also deciding to give some nurturing words of encouragement to others, and they would really appreciate that. There are some people that really need that right now, Cancer. So I hope you open your heart and tell other people how you really feel. Cancer is a sign that is a little bit shy. And so I hope that instead you extend the olive branch, or you tell someone nice things that you appreciate about them, because I'm sure that they will appreciate you for saying that. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when I'm sure words of encouragement are coming your way, Leo, and that is because that Sun, Mercury, which rules communication, and Jupiter in Sagittarius are trining your Sun, and so is Uranus in Aries. And so that simply means that you could suddenly have the opportunity to start something new. And that could be because people are giving you words of encouragement. That something new may have something to do with some sort of advancement right now, maybe that you're eligible for, or maybe that that you've qualified for by this time. And it could be advancement in a group that you belong to, or it could be some sort of community recognition, or there is the possibility that there could be some sort of an offer coming from a prestigious, well-respected organization. And at the same time, costs could be a little bit high. They always are at Christmas time. And that is because Venus in Scorpio is squaring your Sun. But remember that Venus is not having any trouble right now. And so even if you do have higher costs, they could be because of somebody that you love. And so that would be pretty nice as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when if you think that something isn't adding up, you are 100% right, Virgo. And that is because there are 6 planets in mutable signs, and oh boy, they're really affecting your sign, Virgo. So despite the fact that that wonderful Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your Sun, which means you ought to keep your mind on business and on your career, because that's where you shine, still, Mars, the Moon now, and Neptune in Pisces are all opposing your Sun sign, which means that there can be some misguided intentions by a woman that can be very deceptive. and they can be sort of throwing you off track. And that could be why you're saying, uh-oh, something doesn't make sense or it doesn't add up right now. And rather than prolonging the agony of trying to find the right answers, why don't you just give up a little bit right now, Virgo, and enjoy your holidays instead? Because the Sun and Mercury, your own ruler, and Jupiter are in Sagittarius squaring your Sun. So it can be that matters at a distance or something to do with a college or a university may not be working out as well as you would like, and you can be somewhat challenged by communications that you get right now. And that's why you need to pull back right now, Virgo, and instead quietly concentrate just on the things that you're good at, which is sort of adding things up right now. And particularly if some woman has some misguided intentions, maybe it's time for you to stop listening to them. Maybe that's the only way that things will calm down. You could give that a try. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think that you can certainly take advantage of benign influences all around you. And that is because there are 6 planets right ahead of your sun sign right now. There aren't any planets in the air signs. It means you don't have backup right now, but you certainly have bright prospects, Libra. And the reason why is that Venus, your own ruler, is, remember, at 7 degrees of Scorpio, right ahead of your sun sign. And then Mercury and Jupiter at 8 degrees of Sagittarius, and the Sun in Sagittarius are ahead of that. And then Saturn at 9 degrees, along with Pluto and Capricorn, are ahead of them. So these 6 planets that are all ahead of your sun sign means that you will have opportunities to walk into something that's pretty good. I don't know if it's right now, but it is coming up. And that's good for you, Libra, because either you're getting words of encouragement right now, which I think you could be, or you may be in the mood to give them to others, which would be great. And that is because love, loyalty, and respect for the goodness in people is very strong right now. So I hope that you have some good things to say to others, because I think you're going to be getting some good news back as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, yeah, Venus is in your sign. It's part of these planets that are a benign influence right now because they're so perfectly sextile each other. Venus in your sign at 7 degrees is not being challenged in any way. There are no other planets in fixed signs, and it's being trined by the Moon, Mars, and Neptune in Pisces. So it's well backed up. But because it's at 7 degrees and yours is a fixed financial sign, you could be pretty happy about your financial situation right now, or at least the prospects could be very good for some sort of financial break or bonus that could be coming your way. So that's great, Scorpio. And then remember, Mercury, Jupiter, and the Sun are right ahead of your sun sign, and Saturn and Pluto are sextiling them, and Pluto is one of your rulers. So I think that this is a time when you really have sort of a free range right now, and I hope that since Venus, which is a planet of love and peace and compromise and reconciliation and the law, I hope that since your sign is so well favored right now, that you do have words of encouragement for others, and in a way they would be others that deserve those words of encouragement. But I hope that you go ahead and sort of shine that around right now, Scorpio, because you too have many things to be thankful for. Not just things that you've done for yourself, but things others have done for you. And so this is a good time to be counting your blessings. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, you could really be wanting to get the word out in one way or another, and I'm sure you're going to do that. So I hope that word involves words of encouragement, and that is because the Mercury, the Sun, and Jupiter in your sign are all being backed up and beautifully trined by Uranus in Aries. And so there could be some sort of sudden breakthrough or sudden opportunity either to travel or to get something right. In other words, if you have been misunderstood about anything, maybe now you can clarify a problem or give really good answers to something if there's more information available. So that would be great for you. I also think this is just going to be a very happy holiday for you. Your sign does rule religion and philosophy, and it rules tolerance for people from all cultures. And so I think you're going to shine this holiday time. The only thing you have to watch out for is that the moon and Mars and Neptune in Pisces are squaring the planets in your sign, and that simply means you could be either undecided or confused by a woman who has misguided intentions. In other words, whatever she's intending, it doesn't add up, or it doesn't make sense. And that could be somewhat threatening to you, or if enough people are following her, then that could be something that could even turn out to be dangerous for you. So you need to be a little bit careful who you trust right now. And if I were you, I'd get proof before you believe anything. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when, of course, you can be strong because you've got Saturn, your own ruler, in your sign for the first time in 28 to 30 years, and Pluto is there as well. But there are very benign influences around you, Capricorn, and that is because that Venus at 7 degrees of Scorpio is sextiling Saturn and Pluto in your sign, and right behind your sun sign are Mercury, Jupiter, and the Sun in Sagittarius. So these 6 planets are all around your sun sign or in your sun sign, and that simply means I'm sure you're going to have words of encouragement for others, and they likewise are going to have it for you. And so there is the possibility, Capricorn, that you can be contemplating some sort of a promotion or step up in your career. Or it can be that you may be able to get an offer from some rather prestigious or highly respected organization. And that is because your life is going to change in 2019, and I think certainly for the better as you expand next year. And that is because of the 5 eclipses in 2019, 3 of them are in your sign, Capricorn. So this is a very good time not only to be encouraging to others, but also you can receive good words of encouragement, and they are probably very well deserved. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, there aren't any planets in the air signs, and Venus in Scorpio is squaring your sign, and it's a fixed financial sign. So you could have some extra bills to be paying this holiday season, and you will just have to sort of bite the bullet and do that, Aquarius. But at the same time, you too benefit from this feeling of benign influences that are around everyone right now. And they seem to be coming in the form of words of encouragement. So either you could give some words of encouragement to others, which would be very kind of you, or you can be getting them from others, and that can more or less bolster your faith in others right now, which is a good thing, particularly since there aren't any planets in the air signs. So with just a little bit more encouragement, I think that you could be flying pretty high in 2019, Aquarius. And so this may be the time to exchange nice thoughts and words with other people, because what you give, you get back. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is certainly a time when you can benefit from men and women that are getting along a little bit better right now. And the reason why is that even though the moon, Mars, and Neptune in your sign are all harshly squaring Mercury, the Sun, and Jupiter in Sagittarius, which means that other people or even legal dealings that you would have with a court or some lawful issue may not be exactly working your way, Pisces. Still, since Venus in Scorpio is trining your sun, and Venus and Mars are trining each other, that is why men and women can be getting along a little bit better right now. And also there can be, even if there is some misguided intentions from some woman in your sphere, Pisces, in other words, somebody that you already know, If they're doing or saying or planning something that doesn't quite make sense or doesn't add up, this is a pretty good time for you to go and talk to other people. You may get words of encouragement from other people who can help sort things out for you, which would be good. Remember, all the water signs rule healing. And so this is a time when if you consult with others, you may be able somehow to come up with an answer to something that doesn't make sense at the moment or doesn't add up. At least there is the possibility of that. And remember, there could certainly be words of encouragement, particularly about financial matters right now, since Venus is trining your sun. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show, read our blog, and hear our podcast on our website, starborninstitute.org.